Hello friends, vinyl community. Wes here checking in with another episode of the Vinyl Survivor. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate. If not, I hope you're just doing well in general. I just wanted to come on and start working more on some more episodes of Vinyl Survivor. Got a bunch of stuff here I've listened to. Haven't had a chance to talk about it yet, so let's just go ahead and get into this episode and talk about 5 more records that were new to my ears. The first album we have here is the second album from Arlo Guthrie. This is just self-titled Arlo. I believe it was released in 1968. It was a live recording from the Bitter End Cafe in New York City. Some more sort of Arlo's sort of balladeer kind of storytelling style, as it were. Definitely probably most well known for the motorcycle song. You know, I don't want to pickle, I just want to ride on my motorcycle. Definitely a classic Arlo Guthrie tune there. You also have Meditation, Wave Upon Wave, which is a really cool song, and the Paws of Mrs. Claus, or the Paws of Mr. Claus, I should say. Now we're heading into the Christmas season, so that's it's kind of an offbeat sort of Christmas song for you there. Really just a fun live album from Arlo Guthrie, and he's best experienced live, I think. Enjoyed this one, and is definitely going to be going in the collection. And this is on the 2-color Reprise label. 1C stampers on both sides, so I'm thinking this is probably a pretty early pressing of this. Just a nice, good shape, good condition stereo pressing of this. So definitely happy to have this one in the collection. Okay, the second thing we have to talk about for today is actually a 12-inch single. This is the Real Roxanne with Howie T. This is Bang Zoom Let's Go. I believe it's from 1988. Okay, it's 1986, sorry. But this is just the 12-inch single for Bang Zoom Let's Go, and then the side 2 has Howie's Teed Off. Some mid-80s hip-hop. Actually, I was impressed by how this sounded. When I bought it, I bought this for $1 at the Ocala flea market, I believe. And I wasn't sure what I was getting into, but I just thought I would pick it up and grab it and see what it was like. It's really good hip hop, really good beat, and really good lyrics and whatnot, and definitely sort of that 80s feel where hip hop wasn't so serious as it is now, or as it has been for the past 20 plus years. A fun 12-inch single. This is on Select Records. It's got a Herbie Jr. in the dead wax. If you look at a lot of hip-hop singles and stuff from the 80s and 90s, you see a lot of Herbie Jr. in the dead wax. The go-to mastering engineer for hip-hop music, I guess, 12 inches and whatnot. So yeah, 1986 Select Records, Real Roxanne and King T. Or Howie T, not King T. King T was somebody different. Okay, next up we have an album from Sheena Easton. This is titled The Lover in Me from 1988 on MCA Records. This is her first album on MCA, but I believe her 9th album in her discography. Mainly known for the title track, The Lover in Me, Babyface song, something I wasn't sure whether I would like it or not. I bought this at the Salvation Army for back when they were 50 cents. Picked this up on a whim, and in the end I didn't really care for it very much, with the exception of one song called 101. It's actually a Prince song Prince gave to Sheena to do, and definitely a more darker Prince feel to it. If you're a Prince fan, I think you're gonna really love this song. I like 101. The rest of this album I don't really care for. It has that very late 80s poppy, the Lover, and if you've heard The Lover in Me, you've pretty much heard this album, with the exception of 101. The rest of them, they all pretty much sound the same to me. So not very interesting, not something I see myself revisiting at any time. But as I said, I do really like the song 101. So that one I might actually, put in my iPod or whatever, just to hear every now and then. It's a very cool song, and she does a good job with it. And as I said, it has a much more darker Prince sort of sound to it, and a cool track, but not enough to keep this. Okay, next up we have an album from Daryl Hall and John Oates. This is Big Bam Boom from 1984. And I believe this is their 12th studio album. I didn't realize, actually, when I was doing research on this, I didn't realize how far back Hall & Oates went. They started it back in the early 70s, which I didn't realize that they went back that far. And I haven't really seen any of their earlier albums. I mostly see their 80s work, which is probably their most well-known work. But yeah, apparently they go way back. This one has several hits on it, mainly known for Out of Touch and Method of Modern Love. I'll go ahead and show you custom labels here, pretty colorful, and this does have Master Disc RL in the dead wax, so it's a Robert Ludwig mastering. RCA was the record company for this. Definitely like the cool, funky sort of artwork on this album. Really neat, definitely screams the 80s. Continues on the inner sleeve here with some liner notes and lyrics. Definitely really cool. Just a good Hall & Oates album. It has that light rock pop sort of feel to it. Something that I enjoy. This one's a pretty easy add to my collection, and another one that, this is a thrift store kind of record. I'm sure I paid 50 cents for this album probably. I think probably got this at the same time I got that Sheena Easton. Yeah, Big Bam Boom. Good Hall & Oates album. I can recommend this one if you like 80s stuff. It's, you probably already have it, but if not, take a look out for that one. Alright, and lastly but not leastly, we started out this episode with folk music, so why not close it out with some folk music? We have Joan Baez in Concert Volume 2, or Part 2 I should say. This is some recordings of some concerts she did in 1963, and this was released later at the end of the year in 1963. Some really good live Joan Baez recordings. She does Bob Dylan covers on here. We Shall Overcome at Birmingham. Just a really nice Joan Baez live album. Just doing what she does best. Just folk music to a live audience. Beautiful voice, wonderful storyteller. One thing I learned when I was researching this is actually that the stereo version and the mono version have a different track listing. The stereo version has the song God on Our Side, which is actually one of the Dylan covers she does on here. That one is only on the stereo version, which this is, and then on the mono version you lose with God on Our Side and you pick up Railroad Bill and Rambler Gambler. So, kind of a different track listing, which I didn't know, so I'm gonna have to keep my eye out for a mono copy of this as well. But this stereo copy is a really nice, clean copy. It's going to be going in my collection. I don't know if you saw this. This is a Bob Dylan poem on the back here, and this is on this sort of deep reddish and silver Vanguard label. Nothing really interesting in the dead wax on this one. Just a really nice quality piece of vinyl, and Vanguard did excellent work when it came to vinyl as far as quality. They made a really nice product, and you can tell that there was a lot of care put into these, so they're always enjoyable listens, and especially if you like folk music and whatnot. So that's Joan Baez in Concert Part 2. I already have In Concert Part 1 over here in the collection somewhere, up there in the B's. So yeah, I want to thank you for watching another episode of the Vinyl Survivor. I hope you enjoyed it. If you aren't already, please subscribe so you can keep up to date whenever I release new episodes. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers.